Hi, this is Veena from VPM Pages. Welcome to my show, Spark Talk with Mr. Muneer Chalil. He says technology, a changer for students and schools to learn together. Muneer Chalil, he is currently working as principal, Darul Huda Islamic School in Alain, UAE. He is a MA holder in English from India, Bachelor of Education in Teaching of English. He was a teacher in residential school by the Government of India, moved to UAE in 1996 as English teacher. He has worked as headmaster, vice principal, and principal in CBSE schools across UAE. Professional contribution. He has attended and arranged workshops and PD sessions. Active participation in Principals Forum by ADEK and CBSE. Now, sir, we welcome you to this show. And could you please brief you about yourself and why did you choose teaching as your profession?
Thank you. Good afternoon, all of you. Thank you, Miss Veena. Uh, my becoming a teacher was not by chance. It was a choice of mine. Professionally speaking, you already mentioned that my subject is English, and I'm very much keenly interested in this area. That is the reason I could develop from a teacher to a principal over the years. Eventually, I have seen and mingled with quite a few people. Beginning, it was a selection of students in India. It was Navodaya schools. Then moved to UAE and mingled with the multinational community. And along with my career, I learned a lot about the people, about the culture, and I have seen that uh, the series of changes that are taking place in the educational field, especially in teaching and learning.
So, this was your choice from the beginning, from your childhood.
Obviously,
Okay.
no
What
doubt about it.
what made
Yes.
you that? What made you to choose that right from the small? Because usually what happens, our dreams change according to our age or according to our circumstances. So it changes. So you have been wanting to be in this teaching profession, but there should be something that you would have seen or you would have got inspired by someone, right?
Definitely, when I selected my optional subject, I found that there are two things which I can contribute in this. One is I can be a teacher. The second is I can be involved in social work. I can second people around me or people who are associated with me. And on top of all this, we are a teaching couple.
True. Very true. Sir, you say that technology. Now, today we are talking about technology, a game changer for students as well as teachers and school to learn together. So, why do you say this?
See, you look back for say 2 decades ago when we started teaching, and the person who was in possession of a PC, and that time the PC was not of this dimension. It was a huge thing with a lot of gadgets, and it was supposed to be a status symbol at one time. Now
At
things
one
have
point, yes,
changed.
true. Yes,
In
yes.
addition to that, that is the technical aspect of the improvement that is seen in all aspects, whether it is in automobiles or any other gadget or industry for that matter. In addition to that, what we can see is that more and more involvement. There was a time, especially in the Indian curriculum, where the learning or the teaching seems to be teacher centered. And now it is an inclusive atmosphere wherein all are to be involved, and it can be interaction to the core. All interaction should take place, and what is the correct method is you must have the technology and at the latest one so that the students, parents, that it's a big triangulation is happening because of the parents, teachers, and the students.
Very true. Very true. Absolutely true. And well said. Sir, actually, UAE Education Ministry was very particular, like, not to compromise on children's education. Can you tell us more about that?
The attractive part, especially when it comes to ADEK, Abu Dhabi Education and Knowledge, they have a clear-cut guideline for everything, whether it is a preschool, whether it is a nursery, or schooling and higher education. And it is all inclusive. They want to see that students of 4 years are attending school and graduates from various high schools are entering universities, and they have a clear cut guideline along with a supportive team in liaison with the schools and colleges and universities based on your curricula, based on your uh, say financial aspects, everything they look into, and close monitoring and reporting is happening. Thereby, we feel that we are encouraged, we are motivated, we are trained, and especially the school inspection from the perspective of ADEC is highly creative, and the yardsticks and the things that they do in that, I mean, the employment of the way they implement the various strategies in the school assessments is awesome.
Very true. So, like, since this was more to do with technology, teachers, parents, and students had to learn this new technology like Microsoft Teams or classrooms, many more, and new teaching methods as well as new pattern of teaching they had to adopt. So, was it easy for them to adapt all these changes concurrently? I think
No,
you.
it happens eventually. It is not a matter of a day or two. First of all, they form a policy and they set a target that by the end of so and so time, this is how it should be. And then they educate, they train, they train the students, they train the teachers, they train the parents. And thereby, we come to know that this is how we need to go ahead. So transformation do happen, but eventually. And the way it is implemented is absolutely awesome.
So was it like, initially like parents or teachers, they're finding difficult, how well they coped up with the situation? Uh, were they
See,
accommodative, like, were they supportive? Did they accept it, or how was the situation initially?
see, any thing when you bring about a change, especially when it comes to teachers and all, there will be some kind of I should not say resistance, but people. It will take time for the people to adapt. But once we come to know that this is how things have to be, and you need to do modification in the way you are teaching, or the way you are learning, or you are running the institution, then of course it is possible and it is easy. Even in my school, I've been here in this school for the past 3 years, and when I joined, our ranking was lower, and the next inspection we could bring about the changes.
And I feel that now, like when we speak to the teachers, they say that earlier it used to be only books, their words and expressions, and few different methods of teaching. But now they have learned so many things, technology, like, they have learned so many how to operate. Lot of things they have learned through this technology, that they are actually proud what they are doing right now, and they are happy, I believe, that they could learn something new.
See, when you look at the whole process of learning, say, I'll take you back to the history where the teacher in the Indian concept was a guru, and from that, we have reached a stage where the teacher is a facilitator. So what we can do is we can be say a destination point, I mean a marker saying that you move in this direction and these are the supplementary material which can assist you. The final word cannot be the teacher's lesson or the lecture or the prescribed text. Gone are the days. Now,
Very true.
even if you give a homework to a student, what our teachers do is they give say minimum 3 websites for supplementing their answers. So the source and the resources are varying from subject or the age group,
Yes.
but ultimately it is absolutely clear that it is not that what the teacher just teach certain facts and thereby end up the lesson. Gone are the days, and it is very clear nowadays.
Yeah.
The best part of that is that awesome changes are seen in the students. They are bringing about a lot of innovation, new
Very
technology,
true.
new adaptations, and surprising results are seen in the way the children perform and in the total outcome of the learning process.
And moreover, I feel that sometimes it happens that they tell teachers what to do because they have already gone through so many things, and sometimes no ma'am, it's this way to do. So students are also parallelly trying to learn more about technology, like how to do, what to do, how do we help, or how do we involve. So that's very nice that teachers and the students are like equally, they've accepted and they're working on it. So yes, sir, you want
True,
to say?
very true. It's not that they contradict with the teachers, but they do come out with some fantastic outcomes. See,
Innovative, yeah.
in many different ways, depending on the subjects.
Yes.
And see, wonderful researches are happening in various subjects by the students. And if it is a class of say 25 to 30 students, we get 30 minimum responses of for one and the same thing. Barring the facts, there are so many things connected to that, how they reach that derivation, etc., etc. So it is uh, in no way, nowhere in our life we can avoid changes and technology, whatever way it is. But the thing is that we get adapted, we keep on modifying ourselves. Improvisation happens at all levels, and as part of that, even parents come to know that our age was far behind in learning.
And so, can you tell us the we have already spoken about advantages and disadvantages. Can you particularly tell us like advantages and disadvantages of online classes comparative to regular classes, and what kind of teaching is beneficial, online or regular classes?
See, there is no substitute to regular face-to-face teaching. But now we have been forced to accept online lessons, and this can be only a substitute.
Yes.
See, there are in the past also there were online exams. For example, TOEFL, IELTS, all these are online exams with a controlled, say, rules, regulations, and technology in such a way that they close all the ways for manipulation. Still, if the teaching is really to happen, especially at younger ages, I should say, till the age of minimum, say, 12 to 13 years, it is very much essential that one must be in the school, and then only that collaborative approach will happen. There are a lot of things to be shared and imbibed in the classroom from the discussions and things that are going on. So we cannot substitute. But at the present situation in the new normal during this pandemic, we have been forced to accept this. Say this can be a makeshift arrangement only, and it has got a lot of negative impact also.
True. Very true. And we were eagerly waiting for Expo 2020 event to happen very soon in Dubai. So how this event will bring in value add to our uh,
See,
okay.
anything new is happening in the world, you can find it in Dubai, especially in UAE is a fast changing And I've been told that there are nearly 200 nationalities living over there. So considering this, it is very, very clear for all of us to understand that it's one of the suitable places for changes, and anything new will first and foremost will happen in Dubai. And the people around the community in Dubai or community in UAE are aware of that we can expect it.
I think
Yeah, come on.
yes. Since few decades, we have witnessed a lot of developments in technology, right from typewriter to computer. And now, since 2020, due to COVID, a new era of virtual interaction have begun. Like, I mean, online classes, interactions with our family, friends, and even virtual parties are going on. So, do you think our lives will go back to normal, or is it going to be like virtual in our coming future?
Now, what I should say is it cannot be both. We won't be going back to the past, and at the
But
same time, we cannot continue in this way. It will be a mix of both. There are certain things which we have learned from our present scenario that this can be utilized for our life in the days to come. And there are certain factors which are negative for us. For example, your assessments, your meetings, the reliability of your responses to certain things, and the absence of discussions and deliberations on the time, etc., are shortcomings only. So we need to consider all these. And in my to my mind, it says that we cannot continue like this. And at the same time, when we, by the grace of God, when we are back to the aftermath of, say, the post pandemic, there will be a lot of changes in the way of
true,
working, the way
yeah,
of living, and
true,
that is clear.
true, very true. Because those are the gone are the days, like where we used to be with with our buddies or with our friends, but now we are not unable to see our children like that. They are not able to meet their friends. It's all virtual. Hope things go well, and at least half of the life they enjoy, like what we have done. And like being a principal of a leading school, what were the challenges you faced while shifting from classroom learning to online classes?
See, there are two things into that. Number one, the fear that is created, the psychological impact that is created in the minds of the people in sending or in attending the schools or to be in a group. Second thing, the way it is done. For example, again I say in lower classes, if the physical interaction of the teachers are absent, there are a lot more difficulties for the students, especially of say young ages,
Young ages,
to
yes.
learn.
True.
And that's what I told you, that it is not just imparting the information, where the personal involvement of the teacher is very much essential. At the same time, the guidelines from the health authorities, the warnings from the authorities tell us that time being, this is how we need to go about. I'll tell you the correct example. When it started, the first 3 months, it was completely online.
Online, yes, true.
Then we were allowed to have selected number of students of certain age group with following the norms of the COVID-19. There is a clear policy regarding that.
Yes,
Then
yes.
it happened that vaccination started. Once vaccination is completed, and we found that we are able to have it, uh, we were able to accommodate more and more students. And in that whole process, say 1.5 years, the mindset also changed a lot.
Yes, true.
People found that earlier we were thinking that tomorrow things will be clear and then we can be back to normal. Now, 99% of the world has accepted that it is going to be new normal. We have to live with the COVID. So adaptability is there, and accordingly we have revised the method of teaching. We have revised the way we use the technology, and even the assessments, etc., are totally changed. I should say the total transformation happened. Even the way students and teachers get involved when the lessons are on. And one topmost important thing that I have seen is that the involvement of parents multiplied in say in all levels. Parent has become a major contributor to the learning process of their students.
True. Maybe because they realized how school work, what kind of patterns they use, what kind of method they use for teaching, and how their child is treated, or how teachers, what are the initiatives of teachers and their effort. So I feel that being a parent, even I have realized that the effort of teachers as well as our student, I mean our children and other students also, like uh, everything mattered, where everything it was like open, because even parents used to sit with the children, so it was like understood.
Now, there was a certain percentage of, say, people in our community who used to undermine the efforts of the teachers,
Yes,
and those type of people really understood that the job
effort
of
of teachers.
a teacher, especially again, I should underline that of younger ages, it's a very Herculean task, holding them safe for 5 to 6 hours per day. Now they realize how hard it is to sail between various lessons and subjects and time management, etc., etc. Now that has given a morale boosting to our teachers also. Teachers feel that they are being recognized,
Recognized.
and at the work level, I should say that efforts have multiplied. See, for example, I used to be in my office, say from 7:30 to 3:30, with a short break of say 15 minutes or something for my basic needs. Now it has become imminent that I should be available 24 into 7. It can be a student, it can be another stakeholder, a parent, or one of my staff members who require some immediate response. Otherwise, that is going to be a stumbling block for them. And I have to verify the guidelines from the authorities, or it can be even from our higher ups, the government authorities. It can be health, Ministry of Health. It can be the Education Department. Our body is ADEK, or if it is in Dubai, it is KSTA. So there is no time limit for certain things now, and the whole concept of office hours is not
Is
seen
doubled
nowadays.
and efforts are also double. Yes, very true. Because I think teachers have to work double now, because they have to make a lot of PPTs, they have to make a lot of videos, and earlier it used to be like children used to come to school and they have to prepare for their lesson and they present it. Those days were also there, PPTs were there, but now it's like they have to, because that is PPT or recorded videos are main source now to be used. So I think, and handling online as well as um like children in the premises, it's like simultaneously it's like very difficult for teachers, because they have to focus on both online as well as on campus children. So I think that's also hats off to all the teachers, like for their effort, what they're doing, especially in UAE, because they have taken up this so well, the challenges, everything, including teachers, management and our KHDA, everyone. So, so do you have to tell something to our audience related to our online classes, our teachers, and institutes
See,
on behalf of them?
the best part is we are successful in imparting that. There is no year loss for a student or the learning loss, but at the same time, there are certain crucial factors I'll tell you. See, learners are of different types. It can be auditory, kinesthetic, or any type of learner. So for in such cases, what happened is some children have progressed a lot. If you are, say, an auditory learner, for example, even me, I listen a lot. Whereas there are people who are visual learners, there are people who are kinesthetic learners, etc., etc. Then regression happened in certain cases. It's not progression. Number one. Number two, reliability of tests. See, you administer a test and your student is seated somewhere, maybe surrounded by someone, maybe accessible to certain materials or resources, but you get the response. In such areas, reliability is a question mark, whereas certain other aspects, say, I told you, in the beginning of my conversation with you, wonderful tests are being held for long. I remember, say, as early as, say, year 2000, these TOEFL IELTS tests are conducted online. So I know university aspirants to UAE or around the world have been appearing for this, and it was clear, and there was not any loophole for any one of them. And if such attempts are made, definitely it will be visible also in the response. So here, in certain aspects, such things are there, and that has led to people turning homes into workplaces, and the redundancy in daily routine. Otherwise, 10 o'clock you have to be in the office as per the Indian situation.
Yes.
No? In our case, it is 7:30. We begin early and disperse early. So in such cases, it is not there now. And I have seen quite a few. We used to visit the classrooms, and teachers constantly reminding the students, why don't you switch on your camera? So that time, you cannot take the response from the student, and you cannot rely completely on whether the student is attentive or not. Knowingly or unknowingly, a student of younger age may feel it also. Otherwise, in the classroom, there is a role for him to present his performance, his response, and there is interaction going on. And when it comes to schooling, doesn't confine to learning these selected subjects alone. As per the latest intimation from the CBSE, every day there should be a PE period. So according to our timetable, it is 40 minutes. So physical activities are not there. Every day we begin our assembly with a 15 minutes session, morning assembly, wherein all the entire school is physically present in the ground, and it begins with a mass drill after the prayer. And there, because of that, I should not say obesity or something, but physical activities are not happening, and that has made our life, not only for students, for everyone, in a very different. We have moved to that, and my fear is that there are certain areas. For example, if you go to church every Sunday, it is part of your belief system, and at that particular time you may feel that I should go there. Now what happened? You are not allowed to go, or you can't go. Thereby, It has even spoiled your routine, and now you get up very late on Sunday. You don't want to go to the church. Okay, so such sort of damages have happened also. Similarly, traveling, and there are so many studies going on in this area, the psychological impact of being confined to the homes. And I have seen it in UAE, because we have certain compulsory quarantine time and all. If you are traveling or if you are tested positive, etc. During those days, when we listen to the responses of various people, we can find that more than medicine and other things, he needs words of kindness and guidance properly, so that he is not dejected.
Yes. Okay, sir. Sir, it was nice interacting with you, and how UAE had taken such a great initiative without spoiling children's education. They did not lose their 1 year. Immediately, the action was like they had taken was like very fast, very quick, and even teachers also adopted new changes, and parents as well, even including children small, especially those KG1 children who doesn't know what is school, what is a building, school building. They have not seen it also, but still they have adopted this, and were they are working together, all are working together. And you have explained it so well, that how UAE government has worked towards this pandemic, towards this education, new education system of online classes. And now it's actually successful, and partially it's going to be like on campus as well as online classes
Yes.
is going to continue. Yes, it's going to continue for a couple of few years, I believe, until we get normal. So it was really nice. Thank you so much for being in my show and sharing a lot of information and thoughts. Thank you so much, sir. Namaste.
That's nice. Yeah. Best wishes for your endeavor. Stay
Thank you.
tuned. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Goodbye.
Thank you.